Well, greetings. Happy New Year to all of you, and welcome to episode number 104 of Lightbulb Moments. I hope I find you well today, and thanks for joining us. We are live on YouTube, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to check out past episodes of Lightbulb Moments. Remember, money isn't the most important thing in life, but it is reasonably close to oxygen on the gotta have it scale, as Zig Ziglar said. I'm Tom Kuhn from Cunity and Cunity for Schools, and we really provide financial literacy, financial education, wellness, and other programs using a simple and visual approach and helping people go from confused, overwhelmed, complicated, too much, to a clearer path towards prosperity, whatever that means to you. Using the new rules of engagement, simple, visual, and actionable. And remember to prosper manage your ATM, the three currencies we have in life: attention, time, and money. And it's not lost on us how precious your time and attention is. So thanks for joining us, whether you're joining us live or listen to the recording. The true sponsor of these Lightbulb Moments are Cunity's money-related solutions, Money EDU for students, Money Pro, which is a financial wellness benefit. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. That's for professionals, and Money SBO for owners and managers. Our last episode was with Sydney Berry, who has been coined the Queen Bee of Beauty. It was a great session. We did it before taking a couple weeks off for the holidays. You can certainly check it out on YouTube. My Lightbulb moment is, so there's research collected from over 1,500 regrets from around the world. And this is actually from a book that I haven't read yet, but I'm very interested in reading at this point because it's by Daniel Pink. And I love everything that Daniel Pink does. So he has a book called The Power of Regret now, and doing a bunch of research and personal experience and whatever. The experience left Daniel Pink with a new 3-word rule for reducing his own regrets. And he said, now my own mode as a human being is that if I'm at a juncture where I'm saying, should I reach out or not? I know the answer. And the 3 words are always reach out. I think that's a really great lesson as we're still sort of creating closure to 2022 and moving into 2023. I have tried, not always with full success, to follow a similar rule, maybe not as profound and not as research backed, but when in doubt, communicate. So anyway, hopefully all of you had a great holiday season. You had a joyous holiday season. And if you're in the upper Midwest, I know you got a lot of snow and are continuing to get a lot of snow as we have another blizzard in the Twin Cities. So one of the topics I want to get to this morning is, and usually I do this every year at around this time, because in working with salon owners and managers and as an advisor, coach, et cetera, which I really don't do anymore, but back in the day, if you will, when confronted with, I don't know what to say. We know it's after the holidays, we're on a new year. We have a summit, we have a celebration, we have something like that. But how do you really create that transition into the new year with your team? So we had a State of the Union last night, and this is really members of the Cunity team, whether they're actual parts of the Cunity team or just key contractors that are part of our universe and we consider to be part of the team. And Michelle Schuster, our COO, she did a great job of really getting this organized. And I'll go through the approach that we took. All right, so there's 2 different approaches that really can lead for a great transition into the new year with your team, whether it's in a salon meeting, spa meeting, a summit, whatever. And option number one is to follow the 3 C's. And I'll get into that a little bit more in a moment here. This is for those of you that are familiar with or practitioners of components of the community system. We have this focusing process called the 3 C's. And I've been using it for probably 10 years in a variety of circumstances. That was the format that we used last night. We got closure to 2022, our successes, what we accomplished, lessons. Then we created clarity on what is coming up for the new year. People love clarity. They love to know what's going on. So that was that section. And then the final section is confidence. So how, so we have this clarity around what we're going to do, but how are we going to do it, And that's where the confidence segment comes in. And we took turns. The closure part was awesome. Every member of the team got to speak. They went through their gratitudes and accomplishments from the last year. We were twice over budget in the time in team sharing, which was wonderful, actually. So the closure part was an awesome way to kick off the meeting, to have everybody to go through their gratitudes and accomplishments. And then we went through, State of the Union in terms of as a company. And I'm going to go to that one for a moment. Okay. So when we look back at 2022, I'm not going to give you the full State of the Union of Qnity, but many of you are part of our ecosystem, your clients, your friends, your collaborators, your co-board members, whatever. But it was an awesome year for us at Qnity, and I'm so proud of the team, and I'm so proud of the work that we've done with so many of you. And I'm going to kind of just go through, and I'm going to do this so you can maybe start thinking about how you position with your team getting closure on last year. I mean, what do you celebrate? What metrics, et cetera? So for us, we're a learning and development company. And so the fill was a big one. We had 202 participants. We donated over $50,000 to Beauty Changes Lives. We had new workshops. We introduced new tools. So that was a really big thing, the fill. We also created the Money Pro course, which is financial wellness for as a benefit for members of your team. By the way, we did a compensation study, which was not on the plan. Over 1,800 hours of working one-on-one with clients. We launched Money SBO and redid it. So over the last 3 years, we've now completed 3 robust financial management curriculums for students, for professionals, and owners and managers. Great strategic partnerships with many of you. We deepened them. We also elevated things from a tech standpoint, a lot of new technology solutions. We continued to serve on boards and be part of committees. We had great growth at Qnity. And then Qnity for Schools, in our first full year, we're up to 120 campuses and 1,198 seats. And I don't know, that was a heck of a year. I'm very proud of it, and I'm very proud of the work that we do together. There's a lot of unexpected from last year, too, in terms of just pivoting because it was the right thing to do. So anyway, I am going to, so that's option one is the 3 C's. I'm going to get into that just a little bit more in a moment. The other option, in terms of doing a State of the Union, having a summit, salon meeting, whatever, is how to frame your communication. The option 2 is we didn't use that format this year. We have in the past, but this is something that's always been a go-to for me. It's making sure that you communicate to your team at least once a year, January for sure. We call that season 1. It's just to answer 4 questions that everybody wants to and needs to know. That is, where are we? This is more or less a State of the Union. This is really, where we're at as a company, how we're doing, et cetera. Where are we going over the next year? What's the direction? What's the plan? And then how will we get there? That is the operating plan. That's your 8 seasons calendar. Those are the things that you're going to be due with dates, timelines, etc., going out at least 2 to 4 seasons. And then finally, the question that everybody has is, what does this mean to each of you? What's in it for you? What's expected of me? Whatever. So anyway, State of the Union, this is one of the main things I wanted to cover with you today. As far as the 3 C's go, it's a focusing system, works great not only for the a year, start a new year and end the previous year, but it's great also for coaching, etc. And we've got some tools around that many of you might have if you've been to some of our programs. Now, one other thing here. This is also a great time of year. I know a lot of our clients have used life maps, which is an activity for the team, perfect time of year, where you take time anywhere between 45 minutes to an hour and a half, and you take them through creating their own life map. And what this is, it's a tool to really look ahead. And it's a vision board on steroids that uses text and visuals. It's a full kit. There's a kit for each person. So it's kind of a turnkey thing to bring into your meeting. You have to have somebody that's certified to facilitate it, but that's not hard to do. But anyway, this is a really great activity if you want to get team engagement and have people create a little bit more clarity around what they're looking for in the future. So, all right, I'm going to transition into the second topic that I wanted to get in with you on today, and that is an update on the Pro Beauty compensation study, which many of you would have seen preliminary findings from the compensation study. Some of you might have only seen phase 1, which was from the second quarter of the year. Phase 2 has taken the last 6 months. And what's different about phase 2 is quite a bit. And probably most important is that this is where a formal report will be issued and available. To this point, all that you have seen potentially is some type of presentation, whether it's on Lightbulb Moments or a presentation that Aaron did at the Executive Summit or whatever. But this is the full report. This is like a 100-page report full of visuals, full of graphics, full of data, full of insights, and it has been a bear of a project. And I'm so proud that we are very soon to release the final report for the compensation study, which is really a new point of reference with data and insights on a career in pro beauty. The contents of this report will start with an executive summary. Then it will really address the narrative, really more the old narrative that many in and outside the industry have about earnings in pro beauty. Then we get into methodology, why W-2s, who's included, who's excluded, et cetera, as well as a snapshot of other technical details in the study that are in the appendix. Then we go through the findings, which I'm going to summarize some of them in a little bit here, as well as some insights. Insights, for example, is the case for financial literacy and why in many cases, when it comes to earnings and compensation, and what is known by some as poor outcomes for those that graduate from cosmetology are more likely due to a lack of financial literacy than they are to it being a poor career choice. We also go through other insights as it relates to just comments that we have on other data out there. There's a conclusion, several acknowledgments, and an appendix. Reminder for those of you that need to be brought up to speed. So phase 2 of the compensation study was in the last 6 months of the year. We kicked it off and started working on it late last June. And it was with 330 locations, almost 3,400 W-2s, unprecedented in the data collection because it was using actual W-2 data. The move into phase 2, we separated and created a new division called Cunity Institute. which is really founded on the principle of economic empowerment. Economic empowerment through actionable actionable data and financial literacy. So to me, when you take actionable data, actionable also means visual. You can see it and do something with it, especially for a visual learner. Add financial literacy, and what you have is economic empowerment. Professionals are empowered to make good career choices. Career choices, for example, what career they enter into, including the field of cosmetology, or career choices in terms of whether you stay in cosmetology, or you evaluate your career opportunities based upon facts as opposed to what's being promoted by influencers. Anyway, phase 2, we also outsourced the data submission to Lightheart Sanders, who really was a partner in collecting the data. It went directly to them. They're also sponsors of Lightbulb Moments, and they did a hell of a job on this project. You should give them a shout out for that. We developed an independent think tank. We might even have members of the think tank available or on this call today. I thought I saw Tracy Herring from Devante was dialing in today. She was in the think tank. We developed a robust 50-question survey. We increased participation, and we went from a small study to a full industry-wide collaboration. It has been my life. All right. The study team included a PhD, CPA, independent data guy, fantastic, and a couple other CPAs. Everybody wants the data, but few are willing to pay for the data. That's a big challenge with getting data, is that everybody wants it, but they don't want to put their ATM. They don't want to put their attention and time into it. For example, submitting the data, or people don't want to help fund this. But what I will say is phase 2 of this project, we had people step up to actually help cover the cost of this, including Wella. I think Wella was the first one to step up. Aveda really just rallied to the cause to help sponsor this study. I mean, amazing. Pivot Point have been great partners for us. Totally got behind this. Axe, and then 2 to 10 Project found monies. Moroccanell, Forrest, and Milady all were sponsors of the study. So 8 key findings. Let me take you through them. Okay, I'm going to go through very quick. Erin is going to be main stage at Serious Business. She'll probably go through some of these, and this report will be available. I'll give you some idea how to do that in a little bit. So what we came up with was average actual W-2 earnings was $54,307. However, when adjusting those to the standard that's applied by the Bureau of Labor Statistics, which is 2,080 hours, for comparability, the number is actually 79,807. Very, very different from the other data out there from other points of reference from outside the beauty industry. Key point is the average hourly rate was $38.37. It was average. Now we created this whole table that listed all the different points of reference, tips, etc. Let's get into flexibility. Average number of hours worked per week, 27.8 hours. 99% of employers in the study offered some or total flexibility with their staff. Compare that to other industries, it was 54%. Wow. Benefits, 96% of the businesses in the study. And by the way, if you participated in the study, why don't you put your little name in the chat there, okay? Because we're super grateful. You can't do this without participation. So if you were in the compensation study, submitted data, took the survey, give yourself a little shout out in the chat there. Thank you. 96% of these companies offered benefits. And then we broke down benefits as it related to common benefits. And I totally forgot about something, which I'll get to in a moment. Interesting insight is amongst the lowest offered benefits was mental health related and financial wellness. Now, also, I'm going to go to something I just I read a bit ago here in terms of new rules for recruiting and retaining top talent. The second recommendation, this is an article in Inc. magazine, the second was beef up your benefits. Healthcare benefits remain most important to employees according to the Society for Human Resource Management study that includes health insurance, telehealth, and mental health. So many of you tuned in, gosh, it must have been 8 weeks ago when we had a guest from Ally Health on, which is telemental health and telemedicine. We are help kickstarting Ally Health into the beauty industry, and they will have a booth at Serious Business. It is a super affordable benefit, and they have become sponsors of Lightbulb Moment. Also, Money Pro. One of the reasons we created Money Pro was we felt that was missing as an employee benefit. Back to the study. If you read about a career in cosmetology, what you'll find on the Bureau of Labor Statistics Occupational Outlook, it says for cosmetology, no training. However, 90% of those in the study offered new hire training, 89% contributed to the cost of outside education, and we have other data around it. By the way, this is just a summary of some of the report. I've purposely tried to keep this brief. I'm not covering everything. Each section I'm going through, we have deeper findings, et cetera, but I'm just giving you the high points. The study really, the data that we were collecting for the study was primarily compensation related. However, we did have some questions on ownership demographics, and there's much deeper studies on inclusion. But we did report some findings that, including that 89% of these businesses were owned by or had female ownership, and other metrics around that. Janet Williams was part of our think tank, and she really helped us with developing the questions to ask, as well as some of the analysis around that. Possibilities. We also found that 76% of the business owners surveyed are cosmetology graduates, suggesting that cosmetology may spur entrepreneurship for some graduate. 74% of the business owners surveyed founded their businesses, which means 26% did not. And if I am a betting man, I'm going to guess that given the number of businesses that are owned by baby boomers who are moving into a transition point in life, I have a feeling that these numbers are going to change. I think we're going to see a lot more business transitions, and I think it's really exciting. And I want to watch this figure in future years to see what changes. But it's really cool to see the emerging owners come into the industry. Now, a little teaser here. As it relates to transition planning, I don't really practice in transition planning advisory work anymore. However, there may be some upcoming education opportunities that would relate with a current owner and a potential key employee or family member that is thinking about becoming an owner. We did a program, it was 3 years ago. It was called an Emerging Owners Workshop, and we're considering, it was a sellout. I mean, it was attended by owners and key employees. So it was really pre-transition education. So anyway, if you have an interest in that, let us know. We may actually offer a workshop at the Phil in partnership with some others. We also got into the subject of return on investment. And this was a very interesting finding, is between 4 to 6 year payback period on student loans, using the average amount of student loan debt borrowed and then earnings, as well as how much of their earnings they decide to put to debt repayments. This is a very favorable finding as it relates to a payback. And honestly, I don't know that I've really seen data like this ever before. I've always been curious. We all know that a 4-year school costs more and takes longer, duh. We also know that a career college is less expensive and shorter, duh. But measuring it. And we do use an example and a story in the report about an individual that was compared to her two siblings. She will be, she'll have her debt paid off, and she will be making six figures while her two siblings are still in school. Anyway, that's a favorable career. And then finally, we got into a question that we put under the terminology of what's one thing you wish the world knew about the professional beauty industry. And, it was the quotes were just rich, wonderful, recession proof, love what we do. It's not a fallback career, unlimited earnings potential, et cetera, et cetera. So anyway, that is a snapshot of just a small fraction of the report, and it will be done next week. You'll also find out, for those of you that were in the study, it's pretty easy how you're going to get the report. We're going to send directly to everybody that participated the way to actually get the report, with an option to have it printed. And then for those that, for the sponsors, we're providing codes to our sponsors for their customers to access the report. And then others will be able to find out how to get the report online. So I would stay in touch with cunityinc.com and click on data, is where we'll make announcements about further research. We'll also make infographics available, further gray papers, the final report, and then what we're going to do next year, meaning now this year, because we're not done yet. We're going to keep gathering data. With each iteration, the sample size goes up. It's more and more representative of the industry. We have more collaborators. And ultimately, I'm very, very hopeful that this type of information will have a tsunami effect in changing the narrative about what a career in beauty looks like, from a compensation standpoint, understanding that compensation is not just your paycheck. Compensation includes benefits, training, et cetera, et cetera. Super excited about this research. A lot of people to thank. I haven't seen who's on the chat or who's on the call, but I know that many of you were very instrumental in making this data happen, and I think it is so important. All right, let's go through some save the dates here, and then I'm going to see who's on the call. So I'm going to give you a little tease here. We have something coming soon. It's called Find the Money. And this will be a subset out of our Money SBO program, which is for owners and as well as those that think and act like an owner, managers, et cetera. So this is not just for owners, but one of the things that we know is that we can go deeper in the finance function to further extract profitability, data, decision-making. And we have something coming soon. It's called Find the Money. We'll be talking about it at Serious Business. But the next thing I want to get to as it relates to the calendar is the fill. Oh my gosh. I am told that we have sold almost half of all of our tickets before the end of the year, whereas last year we had, I think, 30 tickets sold in February. So we're going to sell out on this thing. Early registration is closed now. It's still a very economical event, and it's an amazing property. I can't wait to be at this property in Austin and be in Austin. So anyway, May 21st through May 23rd, not only will we have the 2-day Phil conference with workshops, tools, etc., but on May 21st, we will have an evening event called Lightbulb Moments. Our second annual Lightbulb Moments event. We'll be awarding a couple of golden light bulbs. I've got a golden light bulb right there. And we're also going to be awarding impacts, and we're doing a Beauty Changes Life fundraiser. So that is the Sunday night. evening event. And then the fill is the 2 days. So May 21st is the Sunday night, and the 22nd and 23rd are the conference dates. So save the date. If you haven't signed up, you should sign up. All right. We will be at Serious Business in a little over a week, and we will have a booth there. Cunity will. So please come by and say hello. We'll have members of the team. I'll be floating around, and Erin has a main stage segment that just recently got added. It probably hasn't even been announced, where she's going to talk about the compensation study. So we're involved at Serious Business, as we always are. We love the conference. We hope to see you there, and it's just a great forum. Ally Health will also have a booth there, and we'll also have information on Money Pro, the benefit for employees. Also, Money SBO, we've got a live workshop coming up in March, led by the one and only Candace Gliato. We had the first version of this back in September, and it was just amazing. She did a great job, and people's confidence jumped. I don't know, I think it was like 60%. There was these really cool metrics from before and after. And the feedback we got after in terms of profitability, financial management, et cetera, was off the charts. So anyway, March 13th and 14th, it's going to be up in the Twin Cities. So hopefully you'll join us. All right, let's hear from you. You can go to Lightbulb Moments website, submit a Lightbulb moment on the website. I want to thank Lightheart Sanders and Ally Health, as well as Cunity. And what I would like to do now is just see who's joined us today and see if I can have a chance to say hello. We've got a good group today. We've got Amanda and Andrew and Austin and Candace and Carolyn and Casey and Christine and Connie and Dawn and Deborah and Ginger and Holly and James and Jan and Joe and Kara and Carrie and Carla, Kelly, Kevin, Con, Kim, Lawrence, Leslie, hello, Linnell, Mari, Marie, Melissa, Nina, Patricia, Rebecca, Roberto, Sharon, Stacy, Terry, Todd, Tracy, Tricia, Victoria, hello, Victoria, and Wes. I haven't had a chance to read any of the chat here, and let me just see in what we have right here. What we got, we just have a bunch of just a thumbs up. What a great group today. All right, we are going to keep this session short today. We do have a guest next week, and we will send out an announcement who the guest is next week. And we look forward to seeing you. I'm going to Ireland this weekend. I'm going to the Forest Conference on Friday. I'll be back Tuesday night. I'll probably be a little bit blurry-eyed next Wednesday, but we'll look forward to seeing you, and so appreciate you spending your precious time with us. Happy New Year, and hopefully you will find opportunities to connect with your team going through either the 3 C's or the 4 questions, and stay tuned for more information on the compensation report.